Hey everyone, so this is a demo about my CICD processes that I have implemented inside my project. Basically, what I will be doing is I will be adding a new API to one of my services. Then I will be pushing that to GitHub. Then I will be starting a build, and if that build succeeds, it will create a new deployment. It will create a new service deployment, and on this screen, we will see that service being deployed in real time. Once it has happened, we would be validating that by hitting the load balancer URL or the container URL to verify that our new build has arrived or has been deployed successfully. So let's start. Basically, the API I will be adding is this. What it does is it allows for a GET request on the service at a route of to dos slash hi, and when this route basically when a GET request is made to this route, it will be returning a status of 200, and it will also return a message of the server says hello. For example, if you could see this route, this API here, this has a slash sudo slash health, which returns if the root service is healthy. So if I were to show you how it looks like this. Basically, if I visit this load balancer URL, it returns me that the service is healthy. Similarly, if I were to hit to do slash hi, nothing would happen right now because there is no uh, because no such route exists. That is why this defaults to the unavailable route. So let's start. We have this. What we will be doing, what I will be doing now is just pushing it. So commit dash m I route added, and then we will be sorry for the small delay, but basically there was a much conflict. So I have pulled and I have pushed it. So my remote repository, has just been updated. So now it's time to run our CI/CD pipelines over this. Basically, there has been this high route is added here, as you can see about 4 minutes ago. So let's get to our Jenkins. So this is my Jenkins node, and what I will be doing is I will be clicking build now. Basically, uh, this build could have been triggered automatically as well if I had enabled SCM. If I had enabled build on SCM changes, but because that would have taken quite some time, or I would say that would put a lot of load on my active instance, I didn't do it. So what here is happening is a Docker build is getting created. To showcase what this means is basically this is my Jenkins pipeline, and what this is doing is it is building my service. Then it will be running it to it will be uploading it to an AWS ECR, and then it will be sending us a confirmation. So this is basically the Docker file. It's pretty simple. Now let's monitor the build. This can take quite some long time if you are doing it for the first time, but for smaller updates like this is usually pretty fast. So again, to shed some light on CI/CD, it is basically, to explain it in simpler terms, it is basically a way to continuously integrate and continuously deploy. What I mean by this is, say we have a team of developers who have just developed a new version of our application, but there is a lot of manual effort will go if we were to deploy this manually. So what we do is we have these pipelines in place that do all of this for us. These pipelines can do a lot more than just this. They could also test our code, run tests on it, or run linting on it. But for my example, this has been kept pretty simple. This just has a building and pushing pipeline, and finally a deploy pipeline in case the building and pushing pipeline succeeds. So as we can see, this is taking some while now. Let's wait for it. So our build and push pipeline has succeeded. As you can see, it says done with the pipeline, done with pushing it to ECR, and this has automatically triggered a downstream project. This is called the main logic deploy. What this is do, this will run the deploy script, and this will deploy a new service to AWS ECS. So let's view the console output. As you could see, this just creates a new task definition for us, and then it says pipeline executed successfully. So now the deployment process has already started. What this code has done is this has created a service definition which is sent to AWS, and now AWS will be working on it to deploy it. For let's say if I come here, as you could see, we have one by one task running. Basically, this blue means there are some tasks pending here. As if I was to go inside my task directory, you could see that a new task has started just 24 seconds ago. This one here. This has a, this has a new task definition. If I were to show it, the second task is already started, and basically that CICD pipeline that creates this JSON script. The script is how the AWS decides what to put inside the new container. Let's visit it back and let's see the two tasks that are running. So what soon will happen is this older task will soon terminate itself, and the new task will stay running. If I were to showcase it to you in a running form, this would be slash to rows slash. I also need to add the port, and this is the service is hello. But for now, so this has been deployed successfully, but it will take some time for the load balancer to catch it and actually start serving this route as well. So let's go to my load balancer URL, this one. Now because the new build is here, this should start seeing yeah. So basically, what is happening here is that the old task is getting terminated. This is why we are getting a 502 bad gateway error, and this shall resolve itself automatically. See, so just a single task is running now. Let me, yeah. So the second task is stopped automatically. This is what we wanted because the new build is here, and this has been successfully deployed. As we can see, visiting the load balancer URL gives us the new build. This is basically a demonstration of the CI/CD processes. So thank you for this, and hope you have a great day.